Hello! In this video, we are going to learn about clarifying instructions for acting in the middle of an emergency. To begin, I would like to ask you to please match the following words with their definitions. Here you have a list of words. Take a moment to read them and read the definitions that you have there so that you can match them. So pause my video, complete the activity, please. All right, thank you very much. I hope that you paused the video, completed the activity, and now I would like to show you the answers. What is a guideline? A guideline is any guide or indication of a future course of action. All right, what's relief? Relief is alleviation, ease, or deliverance through the removal of pain or distress. Nice. Flood. Flood is a great flowing or overflowing of water, especially over land not usually submerged. Right? Manhole. Manhole is a hole, usually with a cover, through which a person may enter a sewer or drain, like in the city, to access the underground system of water in a city, or the one that carries the water that is disposed from the houses in a city. Sewer or drain, especially one located in a city street. All right, that is a manhole. And what is lethal? Lethal is something that is causing death, or that is deadly, or that is fatal. All right, good. Now with that vocabulary, let's read the following instructions about what to do in case of flood. Okay, that's the emergency that we are going to deal with in this lesson. Let's read it together. In case of flood, it is important to stay informed about the emergency and guidelines from relief agencies, agencies that help you relieving the pain and distress caused by the emergency. Good. Whenever possible, try to go to the highest part of your house or building. All right, in case of flood, I understand. Next, walking on flooded areas is dangerous as you may fall into uncovered manholes. Ooh, that would be really dangerous. Yes, if you fall through a manhole. Under no circumstances should you touch electrical wires on the ground. Good. Be aware that eating food that is wet with flood water may be lethal. All right? Understand that if you eat something that is wet with flood water may be lethal. Let's see if we understand some aspects mentioned in this text. First, let me ask you, why should you go to the highest part of your house in case of flood? Why? Because if the water is rising, if you go to the highest part of your house, the water will not reach you there. It may damage other things in lower sections of your house, but you will not be in danger. Good. Why would the covers of manholes fall? That is not a comprehension question, more like implication, but it is good. It's good to know that. Imagine you're in a city and there is some manholes that are on the street and the cover has fallen. No, the cover has been removed. Why? Sometimes in floods, the water comes from underneath the surface because it has flooded all the sewage system, and that pulls the cover up, pushes it up, and then it is removed. And somebody, if you're walking and you cannot see because everything is flooded, you may just accidentally fall through it. That is dangerous, really dangerous. I never thought about that. Next, why should you not eat food wet with flood water? Right? If it's flood water, it has touched everything on the ground where we step all the time, and there is so much bacteria there, so many bacteria, that everything that water touches is going to be contaminated with the bacteria that the water was carrying in it. I never thought about that. Wow, good. It is good to know this. We learn a lot in these lessons. All right, we are using that text especially because there are some expressions that are used there to clarify the information in those instructions. All right. For example, it says, it is important to stay informed about the emergency. The instruction could be simply, stay informed about the emergency, but you can clarify that information by saying, it is important to, all right? And another example that I have from the text is, whenever possible, try to go to the highest part of your house or building. So you could just say, try to go to the highest part of your house or building. What if you can't? What if you're trapped there? Or what if there is if everything is flooded and there is danger there? So it's whenever possible. So we can always provide some more information to help the reader understand the instructions better, or to apply them, to put them into practice. All right? So according to the text, we see that there are some ways to improve the way we give instructions. And based on that, I have some list. It's an extensive list of expressions that we could use in some different ways to clarify information in the instructions that we're given. For example, we could say, it is crucial, or it is important to, or it is important that, or it is dangerous to. If not necessary, to this. The most dangerous period in which, or the most dangerous period of time in which this happens is, all right? Or be aware that. Be aware means understand that. Under no circumstances, meaning never, never. Or if you're saying, you're giving some instruction, do not do this, you could say instead, so offering some alternative. It's better to, or whenever possible. You could also say, this is dangerous as you may not see. So if you say this is dangerous because, or as, you must be alert since. So as or since are words that will help us show the cause or the reason why we're doing something. We could say in order to, so with the purpose of. Again, I have here as and since because they are very important. Or we could provide examples by saying such as, never go to the lower sections of your house, such as the basement or the first floor. See? Or for example, or for instance, I love that expression, for instance, to provide illustrations, to provide examples of something. All right? So the idea is that you put into practice this, using these expressions about clarifying information. And for that, I have this activity for you. Using expressions from the list above, clarify or add information to 3 of the following instructions. Just 3. So we have 5 here. Just choose any 3 and expand them with more details about instructions about what to do and what not to do in case of flood. Good. So here you have them. Look at them. If you need to look up some vocabulary, do so. So please pause my video, complete the activity, and I'll see you in a moment. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for completing that activity. And I have here some sample answers. I could use any of those expressions, but this student here chose these 3 instructions and some of the expressions from the list above. He said, turn off electricity in order to prevent further accidents. Nice. Turn off electricity in order to prevent further accidents. Good. If not necessary, do not try to cross riverbeds. Yeah. If you don't need to, well, if not necessary, it means that if you need to, you have to, and you have to be very careful. But if not necessary, do not try to cross riverbeds, as, that's explanation of the reason, as the water carries logs or objects that can hit you. Yes, the water may have some objects that can hurt you. And finally, he said, do not move the wounded. It's better to call specialized personnel for assistance. If something like that happens, that is why it's better, or he is offering an alternative. It's better to call specialized people because it's just not, do not move the wounded. What if I have to? It's better to. So we're offering the reason why, we're offering an alternative. It's better to do that in case we have access to specialized personnel. All right? Good. Right now, I would like to ask you to listen to the pronunciation and practice pronouncing as you hear the pronunciation by the native speaker. All right? So listen and repeat after him, please.
Turn off electricity in order to prevent further accidents. If not necessary, do not try to cross riverbeds, as the water carries logs or objects that can hit you. Do not move the wounded. It's better to call specialized personnel for assistance.
All right. Thank you very much for practicing your pronunciation. Remember that we have used some expressions and vocabulary that we can use for clarifying instructions in case of an emergency. In this case, in this lesson, was the flood. So continue to improve with your English as you use these new expressions and as you integrate them in what you use to speak regularly about any other topic. All right? Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.